New details just in on that deadly police shooting.
Why did we have 13 officers involved shooting their weapons, firing 137 rounds? And I don't have answers for you right now.
Then answers tonight after what went down in a 20-minute police chase. And police said the man and woman inside the car were shooting at them, but no gun and no shell casings were found.
Ed Gallick is asking the tough questions tonight. He's live at 11 with the latest now, Ed.
Yeah, City Hall asking why did so many cops get involved in a chase, firing 137 shots. Now, privately, even some police officers involved in this call it a mess, but the police union says, hold on. Investigators now say one of those who were killed, Timothy Russell. We're told the other person, a 30-year-old woman, homeless. Police still tracking down her next of kin. Started last night outside the Justice Center downtown. An officer heard a shot from a passing car. Multiple sources tell us homicide detectives upstairs also heard it, so did a guard. That led to a chase. Investigators say the chase went on about 25 minutes, downtown, west side, east side, into East Cleveland, ending outside a school. We're told radio traffic refers to a gun pointed out the window, but also one cop says it was a pop can. We're told in the parking lot the suspect car hit police cars head on. The police union says the car was used as a weapon, but then 137 shots by 13 cops. At least one officer thought he was being shot at, yet it was apparently friendly fire. No gun found in that car.
Primarily among those concerns are the length of the pursuit, the number of police officers who were actually engaged in the pursuit, and the number of shots that were actually fired by responding Cleveland police officers.
We have a lot of information to seek through, and we're going to do that. And again, I want everybody to be a little patient because it is going to take quite a bit of time.
We will be reaching out to the U.S. Attorney's Office and also the FBI to ask the assistance recommendations from the Civil Rights Division. Why are we doing that? Because it's the right thing to do.
Well, the police union responding, saying evidence will show the officers were justified. Wait till we hear from them. As for Timothy Russell, a long record, even a charge for not obeying a police order. The woman, drug cases. But none of that will matter during the review of what exactly happened here. Reporting live at Gallick, 19 Action News.
Cops get jobs back after executing unarmed couple with 137 shots over a traffic violation. The 5 Cleveland cops who took part in the 137-shot, execution-style fusillade that killed an unarmed couple over a traffic violation will all get their jobs back. By Matt Agarist, June 15, 2017. Cleveland OH in what can only be referred to as a travesty of justice and a disgrace to the integrity of police departments nationwide, 5 officers who took part in the 137-shot, execution-style fusillade that killed an unarmed couple will get their jobs back. The 6th cop, Michael Borello, will remain free from jail but has been fired. He has since become a gypsy cop, scrounging for a job at any department that will hire him. The shooting came at the end of a November 12, 2012 high-speed chase involving more than 100 officers and 62 police vehicles to go after Timothy Russell and Melissa Williams. The pursuit began when officers standing outside police headquarters mistook the sound of Russell's backfiring Chevy Malibu for gunfire. When the car stopped outside city limits, officers opened fire, perforating Russell with 24 shots and Williams with 23. The shooting lasted 19.3 seconds. For anyone who's ever been to a shooting range or is familiar with firing weapons, 19.3 seconds would seem like an eternity as all those rounds were flying downrange. To discount the malicious intent of these officers continuing to fire after the first few seconds is outright criminal. Neither of the victims were armed, or suspected of anything more serious than traffic violations resulting from the pursuit. A search of the vehicle following the double homicide revealed a crack pipe. Both Russell and Williams had been diagnosed as mentally ill. The city has since paid $3 million each to the families of Russell and Williams to settle a lawsuit. Borello, the ringleading murderer, fired 49 rounds, including the last 15 after he jumped up on the hood of the car in a Wild West fashion. In spite of this horrifying display of aggression, a judge acquitted him of manslaughter charges at trial. Read more. Body cam footage released shows cops execute mentally ill man. Officers Wilfredo Diaz, Brian Sabalik, and Michael Farley and detectives Christopher Ehrig and Aaron O'Donnell fired the remaining shots in a gross display of excessive deadly force. They were also all acquitted. Borrello was acquitted in a bench trial after W. Ken Katsaris, a retired sheriff and expert witness specializing in testimony tailored to exonerate police officers, testified that Borrello's only mistake was to expose himself to potential danger, thereby potentially inhibiting his colleagues as they unleashed gunfire in the direction of the vehicle. By leaping on top of the hood of the car, Borrello was taking action that is not trained, not recognized, not safe, and put all of the other officers in the vicinity of his becoming a victim and the other officers having to attempt to now engage to save his life, Katsaris testified before trial Judge John P. O'Donnell, who in predictable fashion exonerated the officer. We believe that the city's decision to terminate the other 5 officers was justified and should have been upheld, Cleveland Mayor Frank Jackson said in a statement this week. We acknowledge that the arbitrator concluded that those officers committed serious policy violations. However, we are reviewing our options regarding the officers whose terminations were not upheld. Naturally, the police-funded defense attorney is defending the decision and disgustingly referring to the officers who murdered an unarmed couple over a traffic violation as exemplary. It was a difficult case for both sides and a gratifying outcome, defense attorney Patrick D'Angelo, who represents the Cleveland Police Patrolmen's Association, the union of rank-and-file officers, said. We realize we didn't prevail in everything that we were seeking, but we saved the career of 5 fine officers. Read more. Georgia cops shoot and kill 72-year-old cancer patient in his own bathroom. In the eyes of the police union, 6 cops dumping 137 rounds into an unarmed couple is fine work. Hopefully, after further deliberations by both parties, this should be the end of this saga, D'Angelo said. Hopefully there will be no appeal and we can go forward. As for Borrello, he is still eligible to be hired by other departments. For unloading 49 rounds into an unarmed couple, 15 of which a court, the department, and the arbitrator all agreed were egregious in nature, Borrello could very well be back on the street in no time. Indeed, Officer Borrello never offered a reason or an explanation for these actions, arbitrator William Heekin wrote in his ruling. Accordingly, and upon finding that this clearly constituted an excessive use of deadly force, the contention of the city that it amounted to egregious misconduct where as a result the city no longer has trust and confidence in his ability to carry out the duties and responsibilities of a police officer is accepted. For clearly using excessive deadly force, however, Borrello and his murderous accomplices will face no consequences. It's tragic that it went down this way, but at the end of the day, 2 people high on crack cocaine, high on marijuana, one of them intoxicated, made the decisions that they made and we responded to them, union spokesman Steve Loomis said after the officers were acquitted. And we responded within our training. As the late William Grigg noted in his coverage of this case for the Free Thought Project last year. This is precisely the problem. Cleveland police, like their comrades nationwide, are trained to kill people for reasons that will not withstand rational scrutiny, and they are expected to be rewarded for doing so.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Cop Watch, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair use is, as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I have just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago, and so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheeple up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Sheriff County Cop Watch with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me, and I'm sick of it. So I'm trying to wake people up. But my wife would love it if some, if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers. Just think if each one of you subscribers just gave a, let's say, actually, yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But, do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where, at least I can do it. 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt-free. So this is my hobby. I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it, and each of you gave $1, and that was every month, oh my God, yes, I could quit. I could start suing them. Another idea, too, that we have is, if I got, some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here, and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. 47,000 of you so far right now. $1 a day. $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head. Help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.